Hey man, say man, it is that time once again for me to talk about Four Nights of the Apocalypse. Today is the day after my birthday actually, so I'm big 23 now. As of me recording this, it's the day before, but as of the video going up, I'm now 23. But yeah, we're here with chapter 234, titled Knights of the Grail. And we see for the cover image, we have a continuation of where things left off with a more bird's eye view of things, including those two knights laid out right there at the end. Don't think I ain't see them. I'm still clowning on them. But to be fair, if the fear is true, then it's not even the archer's fault. You know, it's just the inherent Diane genetics letting them down. But obligatory Diane straight out the way. We see the standoff between Lancelot and this knight. Lancelot wipes the wound off, and it seems to already be closing. And even Gawain's just like, wait,
ain't no way, ain't no fucking way.
Actually able to land a cut on Lancelot. And Tristan's just like, I can't lie, this is a bit too much glaze, because why is Tristan saying that should never even happen? With the guy with the masked assailant even being like, Lancelot is it stooping low enough to steal the man's name too? How brazen can one even get? And Lancelot Loki's, I don't know, he's both hyped and pissed, because he's like,
Say that again?
but he's feeling his spiritual pressure. Percival then just starts laughing like this is a comedy skit, and he's just like, this all got so exciting out of nowhere, and that for him it's like his whole world is spinning. Gawain's just like, what's going on with this nigga? What's going on with this nigga? And Percival literally just like, I don't know, help me.
Help me, nigga!
And he just falls. And Lancelot's just like, you know what? Good timing, Percival. As he then just disappears, shocking the guy who he was fighting. And he tells the others to grab Percival. Dragon Helmet is like, we're listening to what Kobe said, and we're making sure the job is finished. Only for them to not even land their stab, as Gawain teleported Percival above them and tells Tristan to shake them off with full power, and Tristan's just like, I bet. And they would just fly away with Percival being carried behind. Oh man, Percival, that's my son. But he kinda, yeah, like Lancelot said, that was really good timing with Percival, really good timing to pass out right there and then. And they'll just fly away. And it seems these niggas don't have the same
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
For that either. With the archer from before wearing the hat, being like, damn, he's just in awe of the sight. With the spear guy being like, those are goddess wings, just like what they have. And the guy in the mask is just like, I could pursue them still, barely. But the Oni mask is just like, don't force it, man. We've taken a few hits. But promises that the next time they meet, they will carry out their mission as he sheaths his sword. And we go over to see that the knights have retreated at this island of a house that used to be someone's house. With Gawain confirming that they had lost the Knights of the Grail as well. And god damn, man, that was an incident to say the least for them. And Gawain's just like, wait, where's Lancelot? With Tristan realizing, oh shit, we were flying hard, so maybe they lost him. And Lancelot suddenly just appears out of nowhere. I think he just used the zero sign here. That's probably how he just suddenly disappeared like that. And that's how Percival is doing, with Gawain stating he's just sleeping. With Tristan noting that despite sleeping, his hand is still gripping his sword. But Tristan states that he got a cut on his hand when they got jumped. With them deducing that it was probably just a poison arrow of some kind. And again, I'm not a fan of the Percy fit, but you know what? It might just grow on me. And Tristan uses Purify Star to get rid of the poison. Okay, Tristan, yeah. Because normally, normal healing, it just closes wounds and like fixes fatigue, right? It doesn't like actually deal with poison itself. Maybe that's why it was able to affect Percival, because he does healing, not like cure ailments like poisons. With Percival waking up and it's just like, yeah, nah, that was a W nap. With Tristan asking to see Lancelot if he needs healing. With Lancelot simply stating that a little spit will be enough. With Gawain asking the question we're all wondering, yo, who are these niggas, my nigga? They didn't seem like Arthur's holy knights to her. with everyone sort of collectively thinking about that, agreeing in silence. The Knights of the Holy Grail, was that the name? I've never heard of them. With Tristan saying that asking if they're possibly a set of assassins taking the four evils' place. Gawain stating that they're just not a set, and that they were actually able to hurt this monster right here, pointing at Lancelot. With Lancelot simply stating, "Don't call me that, gang." Which is valid. With Percival wondering the main thing of what they were talking about when they stated making the deformed right, and that they were called fakes all the time, and what that could possibly mean. With Tristan wondering if there were other four knights of the apocalypse. With Gawain kicking that out of the equation, stating that they would have heard it a long time ago. With Lancelot stating that even despite them hiding their faces, he was a bit unnerved by them and wonders if they'd met at some point. With Gawain stating that since one of them had a pair of goddess wings, it may ring a bell to Tristan, which I can't lie, that's low-key racist. Nah, not low-key, that's high-key racist. That's like one of y'all asking me, "Oh, wait, do you know Michael B. Jordan?" Just because we're black, bro. Like what's going on? And I feel like Tristan felt the same way, because he literally spun it right back on Gawain, talking about something. But I should ask the same of you. Do you know that master sorcerer at all? With Gawain stating that offended at the fact that she thinks Tristan might think that she'd associate with some bozo whose magic Tristan of all people could deflect easy. With Tristan rebuting that he doesn't know anyone else in the goddess clan, which is sadly true, actually. With Lancelot noticing how down Percival seemed, I want to make note quickly that it's kind of nice. It's nice, I'd say, seeing how Lancelot is so observant, especially of Percival. I feel like it's as a result of Percival, going away for those 2 years. I feel like now that he's back, despite his best friend coming back, Lancelot is still sort of iffy, maybe like iffy and extra sort of like aware of him to make sure that his mind and body are in sound space so that he won't leave them again. He's essentially just trying to make sure he's there for Percival in case something like how he felt when he went the first time never happens again. Because obviously we know, since Lancelot can read minds, when Percival got the reveal about him being a life spirit, he probably read that whole inner monologue that we read Percival having. But yeah, that's just something I wanted to talk about quickly. Back to the chapter. Percival mentions how the armored knight he crossed blades with had the same style as Annie's, which shocks Tristan and Gawain, and that he mentions the poison in the arrow was fortune weed and that it only grows in the Fairy King's forest, and states that Narcian always keeps a supply at hand, with this really upset face, low-key, and states that it's supposed to be good for nutrition. With Gawain going macho mode and getting ready to deck Percival, talking about something, you did something already to make them hate you that much. With Percival then flat out denying it, just like, no way. With Tristan telling the both of them to calm down, and that along those lines, their prime suspects might be Rosebank. With him stating that a little bird told him that he flat out denied her offers of love. Hell hath no fury than a woman scorned, apparently is what Hauser says, and states that he bet that he theorizes that she rounded up her old pals, and that makes Gawain blow a gasket, as they already whooped those niggas' asses 2 years ago. And it's just like, you want to explain how they got so buff then, my nigga? Those bums could try their whole lives, they'd never reach our level. With Tristan simply stating that that's pretty arrogant. Percival chimes in for Lancelot's opinion, and Lancelot guesses that they're possible doppelgangers created by Camelot, and that it would explain why they're accused of being fakers if that was the case. With Tristan sort of like having an aha, and everyone seems to agree to that, like, yeah, wait, that's pretty sharp thinking. But then Percival makes the obvious observation of why were there 5 of them niggas then and not 4? Lancelot just pulling this nigga's Facebook, talking about, so how would I know that? I said it's just a guess. Nigga got so offended that his shit got called out. Niggas make a Fury see one piece of evidence debunking it and then start crashing out. This deadass be how Twitter discussions happen. But Lancelot is then just like, hey man, maybe you hit that nail on the head. And maybe those two were so starved of your attention they came to vent their rage on you at the same time. But Percival, it seems adamant that he gets along great with Annie and Narcians. At the same time as well, Percival, you greedy man. And Percival says that he thinks that they're gonna see new life spirits inside those two, which got us looking like goddamn Arya from Xenozone Zero. Again, the video will be coming, give me some time. And Percival goes on to state that since he's a life spirit, he kind of knows, and states that he'll have a clearer idea once they get back, with Gawain immediately stating that is not the main issue, with Tristan, with the knights realizing that Percival went ahead and made the next step with Anne and Narcians already, with Percival just calmly stating, yeah, it looks like I might be a dad 2 times over next year. And it just shatters Gawain's morale, it seems, as she's just like, I can't win. To think this airhead's one step, no, million steps ahead of me. With Lancelot Loki just like, damn nigga, did you work fast much? Like, this nigga just came back, this nigga came back to life only a couple weeks ago.
Hey, bro, what you on?
With Tristan just saying, yeah, life spirit sure is right. But Percival is like, hey, don't tell them yet, okay? With Gawain, decide to make jokes of the situation. It's just like, so you're gonna be, it's your turn next, not Tristan. With Tristan simply just stating that he has no plans for that and that he wants to wait till marriage at least. Look at this. This is a sweet ass nigga, man. And nothing wrong with that. In an alternate universe, I did the same thing, and says that he has to finish this mission first and that he wants to respect Isol's wishes, but then decides to push it onto Lancelot. And Lancelot's like, don't throw this shit at me, nigga. Gawain sort of just like this social misfit could woo anyone, which actually irks Lancelot. Talking about some misfit, with Tristan stating that he could if he wanted to, since he's pretty popular with the ladies, with Lancelot simply stating that she's 4 years younger than him. But Tristan's like, huh, what was that? And Lancelot just shuts up. And Percival decides to flip on Gawain. What about you, Gawain? And Gawain is just like, yeah, it's about finding someone suitable first, like maybe a man as strong and muscly as Balin. I'm not saying that I'm okay with Balin. And with her face all red, which they all call out as well, and she just starts laughing before, they decide to start setting up camp. Meanwhile, with the Knights of the Holy Grail, they seem to have relaxed, and one of them the archer took off the hat, the fencer is taking off their helmet, and the invisible one is just like, there's not a soul for mouths, with the swordswoman stating that with this way they'll be able to see if they move as much as an inch, with the archer asking if they think that they're still in this crazy world, with one of the, who I assume to be the caster, they're stating that King Arthur said they'd be here a while, they have a mission apparently, and then asked what's next for us then. But then the guy's just like, why are you asking me? As we go to the Oni Masker and the archer, and the Lancer is just like, you're the youngest amongst us, but clearly the most talented, as the guy seems to be chomping on fruit. And we get the face reveal of this nigga, and it is confirmed to be, his name is Galahad. And that is where the chapter ends. So there's not really much to go through, I feel like, compared to the last couple chapters, but generally just pretty alright, nothing too crazy. I'd rate it a solid, 5 out of 10. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just a mid chapter, I'll admit it. Obviously the knights made their escape from these Knights of the Holy Grail so that they could, regroup and figure out where their next moves are going to be. And it's just I find it funny how they went trying to come up with who these guys were. After Lancelot mentions that they seemed sort of familiar, they go to Percival's romantic prospects after he mentions the fighting style of Anne and herbs that Narcissians likes to use as well, and how it suddenly spiraled into them and who they like to be with for the rest of their lives in terms of like parenthood and shit. Because Percival reveals that, you know, hey, yeah, so that he got busy for real. But yeah, I think Nakaba is doing that on purpose, and then cutting to the Knights of the Holy Grail with their mask off, with the reveal of this nigga being Galahad and all, to show that the theory is indeed correct, that whoever came up with this shit, I can't lie, kudos to you. You are correct. You must be Julius Nova Chrono, the way you can see into the future. It's odd to see that these niggas were pretty surprised at the strength of the Four Knights, as well as, you know, generally things they could do, despite them obviously being the children of the Knights. How they got into this time period, probably chaos, because Cap said chaos controls everything, which includes time. So, you know, chaos shenanigans there. So it makes you wonder, how do they not recognize the Knights in some way in terms of like what they can do? Because why was this nigga so surprised that Tristan had goddess wings, despite as he had them himself? So why not like put 2 and 2 together if you know the Knights? And it makes you wonder what happened in the Holy Grail in Knights' future for them to obviously they're obviously orphans. They don't know, well, maybe not Percival's kids in terms of and Narcissians, but with the others it's just a case of why don't they know things about the Knights like this? Like, why was the guy who's obviously a descendant of Isolde and Tristan surprised to see Tristan use goddess wings? Like, that means they've never met their parents in any capacity, and maybe they're from a timeline, a very dark, maybe a darker timeline where maybe Calf won, so to speak. Maybe not one, but certain things happened, and the Knights and their partners ended up dying. Well, maybe Anne and Narcissians lived a little longer before passing away. Because I find it very interesting that they just have no knowledge of this shit. Galahad being the youngest, a nod to Lancelot stating that she's 4 years younger than him, obviously talking about Guinevere, which makes you wonder, when did he gain feelings for Guinevere? It doesn't really feel too organic for me, at least. But yeah, in terms of what I think is going to happen next chapter, it could probably stem from anything. We could stay with the Knights of the Holy Grail. If so, we may end up learning a bit more about them, get some more get proper face reveals for the rest of them, because we do see them take off their helmets and their attires here and there, but nothing full except for Galahad, who is obviously, he's like, in Arthurian legend, Galahad is that nigga. Like, if Arthurian folklore had protagonists, it would be Arthur, Lancelot, and Galahad. Those 3 niggas. Like, each knight has their own poems about them, but those 3 specifically, those are the creme de la creme when it comes to the tales of King Arthur. If not staying with the Knights, then we'll probably go to the Knights of the Apocalypse, and they'll sort of start actually planning a way to get to Merlin, rather than just walking aimlessly, as Tristan says that they've been doing and such. So yeah, hopefully next chapter we'll actually get a little hint as to, maybe around the end of it, a little hint to how they're gonna use Gawain to figure out where Merlin is. Maybe they have to get to a certain place, possibly that twisting tower that Vargas mentioned to Percival way back in chapter 1. And yeah, I think it's very interesting to see the Knights of the Holy Grail suddenly appear. Like I said, it could just be from a darker future, and that would explain things. But I think that pretty much sums up my thoughts. That's all I have to say, really. Thank you for all the new supporters who've come in recently. I hope you find these reviews, entertaining to a point, informative as well, and just hope you enjoy your seat here, because I plan on continue to do reviews for a while, not just on Four Knights. Xena Zone Zero, like I stated, I'm gonna do 2 different types of videos on that. One being, you'll see me actually play through the story mode, and then once I finish season 1, then I'll do a general review of it before I go into season 2. The Chain Soldier video, that shit was supposed to go up weeks ago. it suddenly became Easter break, so I had no time to actually edit shit outside of the regular full nights videos. So yeah, and then I have a surprise announcement, possibly end of the month. Well, not surprise announcement, but there'll be something I will be announcing around May, June-ish about a personal project of mine. Yeah, I'll leave that for future Afro when he decides to tell y'all. Anyways, take care and have a good weekend. See y'all niggas next week.